For me, the toughest part of anatomy, I would say, was just the first week or two. You hear about how hard medical school is, how quickly you go through information, but hearing about it and then actually experiencing it, it really is challenging.
It was actually the very first day we went into the anatomy labs, and we saw our cadavers and our cadavers' faces for the first time. There are certainly days that we did a whole lot more procedure-wise, but the kind of significance of taking that mask off the first day, I think was quite a lot to process.
When you'd go into a part of the body and you're supposed to find these things, and you're just going through trying to identify nerves and arteries, and when you finally do find all the things you're looking for, it feels marvelous that it's universal and it's all there, and it's a great sort of discovery experience.
One of the most memorable things for me about this entire anatomy experience was sort of cherishing that moment where you really become incredibly close with people that just a few weeks ago you had no clue their name or where they were from or anything, and it's all done in the context of learning about the human body. For us, we have to be some of the luckiest people on the planet, because we get to learn about the human body with the human body right in front of us.
So then at the end of anatomy, we were able to learn a little bit about the history of the donors and the conditions they had, which was great because then we were able to confirm some of the theories that we thought, and it negated some other theories we had. So that was a really great learning experience.
The first week, I think it was maybe the second day, we had to put in a chest tube. So you put in this tube into the side of the ribs in order to drain fluid from the lungs and from around the lungs. And I've seen this before, but I'd never done it on anything. And so it was nice to have a situation in which I could practice something very physical immediately as soon as I started med school.
I would say probably the first time we walked into the anatomy lab, it was the first moment when it really hit me that I was in medical school, and it very much was a different learning environment than I've ever had before. And I really liked the change in perspective that it provided, and it gave me a very concrete example for everything that we were learning in class, and that was incredibly rewarding.
In lecture, we learned about something called cardiac tamponade, and in lab, we actually discovered that our cadaver had cardiac tamponade, and we had a great experience talking with Dr. Korndorfer about how that worked, and what were some of the contributing factors to how our cadaver had died. So that was a really great educational experience.
But one of the things we did learn was that they used to be working in healthcare, and I think that the thing that struck me was that this was something that they devoted their life to, and even beyond the end of their life, they still wanted to make sure that the community was able to learn and benefit and still kind of exist in service of making sure that we can all help people live healthy lives. And it made me start to think about, my own plans for after the end of my life. I guess more than anything, I'd want to tell them thank you for helping me to learn and be able to help others.
I think the one thing I'll take the most away from this anatomy experience is that the people in my anatomy group will most likely be my friends forever.